Hello, hello, hello? No, let's see here. Ah, son of a bitch. Live dashboard. Hello, hello, hello? Ah, son of a bitch. Let's see here. As I get set up here, so give me one moment. Let's see here. Get back to this screen. So, okay, test one, test two. Test one, test two. This is actually Dinner and Politics for December the 18th, 2016. And this is run number 1, just for you. Hey everybody, Lance Bell here. It's another edition of Dinner and Politics. Now we kick it off talking about the dinner itself. It is fried chicken with mashed potatoes and gravy. You know, I know I'm a chicken fiend, but we're going to go with that for right now. As I take a bite here, we're talking about the subjects of today. Now, obviously, we'll talk about what's going on as far as electoral college nonsense. And that needs to be talked about because I am so sick and tired of people talking about this. You know, and everything has been going on in this election cycle. Understand something. And I'm not the first person to say this. Trump won. Live with it. You can't change the rules because you didn't like the result. Now, I don't know it will cause anarchy in the streets. I honestly don't think it will. If the Electoral College tomorrow, when they vote, actually decide not to vote for Trump. But it could be. Now, understand something. Depending on state law, the electoral people that does electoral votes have to vote with this, have to side with the state and how they voted. And a lot of states, that's law. And that seems to get lost in all this. You know, they don't understand that part. The voters, the people that vote, that does electoral votes, has to side with the state in some situations. And there's, like I said, there's quite a few states that have that. So I'm seeing articles all over the place, and let's be real, it's shit posting what they're doing. Straight up, no doubt about it, clickbait on what they're doing. Is that they have to vote with that, but it's like these websites I'm seeing, it's like these are some reputable websites. Hell, I saw the Washington Post of all places talking about how the electoral college might still vote for Clinton or somebody else. Number one, you'll have chaos if it's Clinton. Two, okay, let's assume like John Kasich's name has been thrown around, the soon-to-be former governor of my state. Let's say that enough people vote for John Kasich. Do you really want that fight in the House of Representatives? Do you really want a dumpster fire like that? Honestly? I mean, that makes totally no sense at all if you're going to do that. It really, really does not make sense at all if you really go down that road. Now, is Team Blue going after Scorched Earth policy? I don't fucking know. But that is a good question to ask. Now, you ask yourself your next question. What are they going to do about it? I mean, do you want okay, put it like this. Do you want absolute chaos in Congress once he gets elected? Now, I am no fan of Trump, and people who know me knows that. The question is, you want to obstruct? Really? What is that going to prove? That's going to prove a whole lot of flipping nothing. Honestly, a whole lot of nothing. You have to understand that unless you're totally going scorched earth in this. And that's the sad part. And that's the one thing I totally and completely hope that does not happen. Now, give you the perfect example. I'm gonna jump over here on the on my computer here because I want to see something. I'm gonna scroll down here for a moment. See now I'm looking for it. I don't see it. There we go. Now, this is what I can't stand about what Team Blue's doing. This article is from Daily Kos, and it says, referring to Ivanka Trump. It says, Ivanka Trump to assume First Lady role. Why is our media pretending this is normal? Now, on the surface, I can actually let the title of that article slide. But I'm starting to read the article, and it's like, they want her to act like a certain way. No, I guess they want to be somewhat lady presidential, in quotation marks. You know, and here's what the start of the article says. This is the first paragraph I'm reading to you right now. And I have no reason to actually change this at all. It says the following, and I quote, the past few days is referring to the, before I start that, this is referring to Simdem, whoever that is. People use personas, I have no idea. It says, the past few days I've seriously complimented whether I've died and am trapped in some type of hellscape. I watched less weird episodes of Twilight Zone where everyone tries to convince the main character that their incredible circumstances are normal. This is not normal. None of this is. It is not okay that our new president's biggest concern is a comedy show in New York. Now that part I agree with. Why is he worried about Saturday Night Live? I actually do agree with that particular statement. It is not okay that his party thinks surrendering our democracy to Mother Russia is no big deal. Now wait a fucking minute. This is where the problems start. There are plenty of people on Team Red that wants nothing to do with Trump. And this writer fucking knows that. And that's why I can't stand people to do this. You're overgeneralizing an entire group of people. You know what? And that's total and complete fucking bullshit. Now, with that being said, I'll continue. It is not okay that his sexually assaulting pervert is making a source of his obviously unholy sexual fascination with his new first lady instead of his wife. Okay. I'm gonna be the first person to admit that, I mean, and I'm typing here, so bear with me. Now I'll be the first person to admit that he's an egotistical maniac referring to Trump. But you're automatically assuming that his wife should be XYZ. For being a very progressive brag, that sure as hell sounds like the stereotypical 1950s Republican that you always chastised. That's what that statement sounds like. Sorry, but that's what it fucking is. You know? Now, this writer continues. I cannot tell for the life of me, understand how Trump's completely inappropriate, bizarre, incestuous invitation, with his own daughters not only accepted, but completely glossed over in this election. Okay. It was talked about. Where the hell have you been? You know it's been. Just because that it didn't fit your narrative means that it wasn't talked about? Come on, man. No president ever said he would date his own daughter. If he wasn't married, and no daughter but president has ever said that she would make her own father spur sexual advances. Okay. I know a lot of women right now. If it got proposed to them that their own father would make sexual advances, I guarantee you they would make some also. Guaranteed. What you're assuming is, because you're trying to fit a narrative that they would be very submissive and allow incest to happen. That's what that fucking statement tells me right fucking there. Are you that daft? Excuse me. And I'm getting worked up here. I apologize for that. And no, it's not the vodka I've been drinking either. It's like, how do you make a fucking statement like that? How? You know, he says, I can't even think of a metaphor to equate this is so fucking wrong. I understand there are more things to be concerned with than our First Lady is, such as a potential war with China, or perhaps Sweden. Who the fuck said we're getting a war with China? Who? My mic on? It's like, I'm hearing myself and it's like, what the fuck? We are not getting in a war with fucking China. Alright? We would lose just on the numbers. And before anybody says, oh, we just pulled a glass parking lot, go fuck yourself. Because I've said it before, I've said it again, and I will continue to say it the day I die. Any real military mind will all say the exact same fucking thing. If, and I mean if, we get into a major war, or any country for that matter, gets into a major war, yeah, you pull the glass parking lot card, but sooner or later, it's going to be a ground game. We all know that. They can put a military out there as large as this country's population. So why even fucking go there? They even allude to a war with China. But it says here, or Trump's seemingly funny game to trying to find the most heinous and qualified people to fill his cabinet. Okay. Now, there's some truth to that particular statement. Now, if you watched my show last week, I was highly critical of the people in the spots he was putting in. Now, the only one that made sense to me so far was Elaine Chao. And that had more to do with who her husband was, and she's an automatic go-between. Now, speaking of which, I'll get back to this article in a minute. Now, on his transitional team, apparently Elon Musk gonna be part of this team. Now, Team Blue, understand something. I was totally on board with Elon Musk at the beginning. He did what he had to do, did it, and paid the government back with interest ahead of schedule. I'll give him that. But with that being said, that little shenanigans he played at the beginning of the year about that new facility he wanted to open up, expecting states put 100% of the bill up front, pay for everything. So, in other words, the company's got to have money, right? But he's telling states and governments, use your money, so I don't have to spend any of mine, so I can make 100% profit. That's what it fucking is. And I use temps on top of that in that facility. So he's not even really paying money. He's just paying a flat some temporary company somewhere. You know, I'm sorry, that's a totally different rant for a different day. And with the Teslas, you gotta understand something. I understand you want to make a 100% electric car, but excuse me, when you look at the manufacturing process, it's actually kind of more pollutant than what we have now. So I'm just talking about raw materials. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about raw materials to get them. It's actually more pollutive, you know? I mean, that's facts. Just look it up, you know? I hate to say that, but that's what it is. It's pure, unmitigated facts. I hate to say that, but hey, that's what it is, you know? But back to the article. I apologize. You know, but the media is not pretending that is normal. You see from the headlines, they're trying to justify it. In parentheses says, are White House press credentials really that damn important? If our media is so important they can't even call something like this out, then what the hell do you think is going to happen with our intelligence agencies? Okay. This is where the whole bias comes in. This writer wants this article to be about narrative, not facts. And it's pretty damn apparent in that paragraph, you know. I'd say it, but that's what it is, guys. That's what it fucking is. He's worried about narrative more than anything else. You know, the media in general gave Trump a lot of leeway. Even Trump said so himself on Meet the Press early this year. But he mentioned all the free advertising he was getting. But to say he's getting outright free pass is 100% disingenuous. Because everyone across the fucking board has not given him a fucking pass. You know that. So why even put that out there? Now going back, you said the media is saying this is normal? What media source is saying that this is normal? Assuming you think this article is correct. What media source is saying this is normal? Honestly. Hell, even Fox News wasn't giving him a pass on some of this shit. You know that. This writer. Come on now. You know, he says, report before January 21st, Trump had committed treason. Hint, they won't call it treason. Okay. Where did he commit treason, honestly? That FBI report? Or wherever the fuck? You know, no, excuse me, CIA, take that back. You know, seeing what was going on as far as that, in this whole situation, nobody's talking really about the context of what was in said emails. Now, even the CIA said that they were quote-unquote using assumptions. The problem is, people are taking assumptions as fact. What the fuck? They're taking it as fact because it fits narrative. Bottom fucking line. It fits their fucking narrative. And that's bullshit. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. But like, this article's like, it just, ugh. I'm sorry I'm getting off on a tangent on this particular Daily Kos article. But you know, I like to know who they get the shit post. You know, just send them. Who the fuck are you? You know, to speak for the country. They're probably paying you a couple of bucks plus whatever residual you get off the clicks on the ads. You know, that brings me to a whole nother thing. This whole fake news saga that's been going on. Now look, I find it totally comical now, and I've talked about this, that YouTube and Facebook is actually going to do something, alright? Turn that down just a smidge, excuse me. I find it totally, completely comical, right? Where the fuck were you a year ago when all this was going on? A lot of this could have got avoided. It's like give me a perfect example. I'll go on my Facebook feed right now just to prove a point. Just to see what exactly got posted. And right now I'm not seeing anything, thank God. So maybe they actually did do something. You know, it's like I used to see all the shit posting all the time. Now the Hill's been pretty bad with that the last month or so. I talked about that already. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that anybody's actually put out there on my own personal feed. So, give me a perfect example. Excuse me, I go on one Partisan Exchange, one of the Facebook pages, and I'm an original member of this page, right? Yeah, you get the general trolling and shit posting. I mean, but I'm looking at people's articles they write. They're posting it and shoving down people's throats as fact. You know, I've talked about this ad nauseum, but it's got to stop. I mean, and I'm not the first person to talk about this. People are stupid. I hate to say that, but people are fucking stupid. And let me explain why. They don't research. And that is a big time fucking problem that I've always had with people. They don't research. They refuse to research because their confirmation bias is more important than anything else. And that says a lot right there. You know, so this whole going after fake news, and I saw the list that that whole commission, quote unquote, and what's fake and what's not. And that list is bullshit. Now, I'll be the first person to admit that everyone is going to have their particular bias. I totally and completely understand that, you know. Websites are going to have their bias. But the way they're picking and choosing is what the fuck? You know, it's for Team Blue and only for Team Blue? I mean, maybe they'll start deep-sixing Occupy Democrats. Blue Nation Review. You know, Politicus USA. But I highly fucking doubt it. I mean, I still get stuff from The Blaze. You know, I still get stuff from Drudge Report. You know, Red State Nation. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, Red State Nation or something like that. I get stuff from there. You know, the hyper-partisan stuff. So it's it's not going away. What you gonna do, flag it? You know, especially using a third-party source and not in-house. What a fucking mistake you're doing, Facebook. I mean, you're going to get to a point now where you have what's going on YouTube, where people start bailing on that fucking platform. And that's a different story, a different day. And I know I'm live streaming on Facebook right now. I'm on YouTube, excuse me. Live streaming on YouTube right now. You know, I don't fucking know. Oh, if you're wondering tonight, the beverage choice is Grey Goose. So, not a beer. I just wanted Grey Goose this weekend. So it's one of those situations to where I'm actually happy that this year is over. You know, at least as far as the political cycle. Now, I will say this. Now, as I get off here, I got a little bit of bad news that broke literally an hour ago, you know. I don't know if anybody saw the news yet, but let me pull up. Let me get to the right page first, you know. I highly doubt it updated, but let's see here. There we go. Zsa Zsa Gabor died today, apparently. Now, she was 99. Her birthday would have been February the 6th of next year. So she was super, super close. So looking at her, let's see here, her filmography. It's a laundry list, and I'm looking at the list. Let's see here. Frankenstein's Great Aunt Tilly. Oh man, I remember watching that, and even when I was young back then, even I knew what the fuck, you know. I guess it was just for fun, but come on, Zsa Zsa. You're like the OG serial marrier. You really was, you know. And you were in Happily Ever After. Was actually not that bad of a movie. You know, I'm just looking at, wow. Just looking at her list is like, maybe that's how the Hungarians rolled. I don't know. Maybe that's how they rolled. I mean, nothing against my Hungarian friends, because I do have a few. So it's one of those ones to where she was, but I will say this, being the OG serial marrier, she was married 9 times. So I can't remember her name now. Not Kim Kardashian, but fuck, I can't remember her name now. That was married multiple times. The serial marrier from like the 60s and 70s. I can't remember her damn name now. You know, I'll get off here. It'll come to me all of a sudden. You know. So it's one of those ones to where, wow, I wasn't expecting that during the day. Now, moving on, looking at her TV career. Now, she was on Milton Berle, General Electric Theater, the original What's My Line. Let's see here. She was on Dinah Shore, the original Dinah Shore show. Let's see here. Bob Hope. She was on Gilligan's Island at one point. She was on Bonanza at one point. Let's see here. I'm looking for it now, and it's like, I almost okay. Why was I thinking she was on Green Acres? Please explain that one to me. Why in the world would I think she was on Green Acres? I don't know where that came from. Fuck. Sorry, guys. I'm having a brain fart, you know. Let's see here. I'm looking at her. It's like her last TV show. She was on David Letterman, you know. David Letterman, sorry. She was doing a skit there. She was on As the World Turns there in 1981. Wow. So it's one of those ones to where I know I'm way off topic tonight on this week's Dinner in Politics, but it's the end of the year, folks. I already know I'm not doing the one next week, and I'll be back the first week of January 2017. But folks, I'm going to get off here. Now, I have a personal request for all you viewers out there with the holidays coming up. Have a very productive and most importantly, safe holidays weekends, because Christmas and New Year's falls on weekends this year. So I want to see you back. I don't want to see anybody hurt. So be safe out there. And always, always, always be careful. And remember, fear the root.